Ooh, it's live now. So I couldn't go. It said I couldn't go live. So I knew differently. Hey up. How we doing? It's that time again. It's that time. It's time. What time is it? Just gone 2:00. On a lovely summer Thursday afternoon. This is 2:00 guitar, and today we are going to have a little look at ditching the plectrum. The plectrum can go. And we're going to have a look at using fingerstyle. You know, big thing to learn, big technique. Lots of people use fingerstyle. It's a really handy technique to use. Fingerstyle. I'm going to talk you through the basics of finger picking. There's one thing I always say to people: if you can strum it, you can pick it. And I don't mean your nose, I mean your strings. Okay? If you can strum it, you can pick it. So if I am strumming a chord, for instance, this is a G major, lovely, then I can also pick it. And I'll pick all the strings that I can strum. If you can strum strings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, then you can pick them. If you can strum strings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, you've got a weird guitar. So, how do we do it? How do we start? How do we work with finger picking? I'm going to pick a pattern, and the nice thing about picking a pattern with finger picking is that pattern very, very rarely has to change. It stays the same all the way through, and you know, you can sound really cool. It's a really good thing. I'm just going to drop my screen a tickle bit. So hang on, that might be better. They can see my guitar a little bit better. So I'm going to start with a pattern, and I'm going to use a D chord. String 1, finger 1, string 3, fret 2, second finger, string 1, fret 2, and third finger, string 2, fret 3. So, okay, normally, strum it, but now we're going to pick it. And this pattern just stays the same. The only thing that's actually going to change is the bass note. So what am I picking? I'm picking thumb on string 4. That's the root note of the chord, you know. The root note is the bass note of the chord, and string 4 is the string D. And the chord is the chord D, so the bass note D is the bass note of the chord. So I'm picking string 4 with my thumb. Then I'm picking string 3 with my index finger, and string 2 with my middle finger, and string 1 with my third finger, and they never change. Okay, the only thing that's going to change is the bass note. So what rhythm I'm picking? Rhythm I'm picking is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's a bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 2 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your beat. There you go. So that's finger picking. I'm off. See ya. Oh, now I've got to do a bit more, haven't I? Can't go yet. Right, okay, everybody thinks, yeah, finger picking sounds good to me, but it does expose some real problems. The real problem it exposes is your chord work. I'm going to let you into a little secret. When I first started finger picking, I was absolutely hopeless at it. I thought my strumming and my strumming was all right, but my chords I thought were amazing. Most amazing chords, I'm brilliant. Yeah, I was terrible. But what happens is strumming covers a lot of problems up. Then when you go to start finger picking, you get this. Muted strings that when you strum can get covered up. So be prepared for, it's not right to say be prepared for some disappointment with finger picking, because you shouldn't be disappointed. You know that you've got a bit of a hill to climb, that's all. Just be prepared to, you've got to put the work in. You've got to put the work in. And then you'll be fine. So let's go back to what I was doing. I'm going to show you how I'm going to change chord. So D chord, thumb, string 4, and then next 3 fingers just follow suit on those strings. And the whole point of this, it's called an arpeggio or finger picking. Arpeggio is the technical term. Always spell it wrong. And the whole point is letting each string ring over the next. Now I'm going to change to a C chord. But these fingers are doing the same. It's only the thumb that's changed to string 5. Now I'm going to go back to the D. Back to the C. And I will bet you £1,000, that when you go to the C, if you're good on your chords, but you've never done finger picking, you'll do this. Because it exposes all your weak points. But then you'll find that when you go back to doing your strumming as normal, your chords will be better. So maybe a little bit of jiggery-pokery with those fingers to make sure you drop them down, drop the wrist a little bit, get your fingers right round, and get your fingertips going straight down on the strings, as I've always said and always taught. So you make your pencil tunnel. Where's my pen? My pen's over here. Come here, pen. So you make that little tunnel where a pen can actually get through like that. Okay, that's your pencil tunnel or your pen tunnel. I ain't got a pencil, and that's because my fingers are going straight down on the strings. That's your cue to success, young lady or gentleman. To success. And that will stop your fingers from touching the next string. If they go flat like that, they're going to touch the other strings, and you'll just get plip, 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 plip. And you'll get disheartened, as you know you'd expect, and you'll think, oh, finger picking's not for me, and you'll go and do something else instead. Whereas if you drop your wrist, get that pencil tunnel going, then you're in business. So that thumb is going to exactly, the fingers do exactly the same thing, and thumb drops onto string 5. So your thumb, you've got to do a bit of thinking here. Thinking, oh, steady on. Ooh. And then back. Now I'm going to go to the G, and I'm going to change my bass note again, but my fingers do the same. I think my strings need changing, sound a bit dead. Definitely need changing the strings in. There you go. So now I'm hitting string 6 with my thumb. Now I'm going to go back to so I'm going to do a string skip now with my thumb, and I'm going to go to string 4. Lovely. Oh, lovely. It's a lovely technique. It is a lovely technique. So finger picking. What else can we do with finger picking? If you're already sort of sat staring at the screen thinking, I can do that, then okay, well done you for doing it. We can alternate our bass note. Let's have a look at what we can do. This time I'm going to start on a C chord. I'm throwing chords out left, right and centre. It's nearly the summer holidays, so you know, if you've been following the sound advice education videos and looking at any of the guitar stuff, then you would have sort of, you know, you'd be a master now. So I'm sort of going on 4. There's a little bit more advanced this style of playing is. So I'm going on the bigger open chords. And we'll start on C. And this time we're going to use something called an alternating bass note. What we're going to do is we're going to go 1 and 2. Oh gosh, right, might mess up. That'll go again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So I'm picking string 5. Then on the 3, I'm picking string 4 with my thumb. Oh, you are a busy thumb, aren't you? So string 5, but the 3 fingers are doing exactly the same as what they were doing in the other pattern. This is such a simple pattern to be able to use. They do get more complicated, but this one is what we call a bread and butter pattern. It will serve you right through all fields of playing a guitar, not actual fields with cows and sheep in. Although if you want to take your guitar there and play to them, fair enough, you know, but they might look at you a bit weird. If you went into the sheep's field, you could do Ba 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 N by the Beach Boys. Right, we digress. So, alternating your thumb. So I'm going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, back to string 5, back to string 4. And if you build speed up on that, sounds nice, that's nothing wrong with that. Now, another little trick. Pick a card, any card. Not that kind of trick. What I'm doing there, I mean, this is, you know, if your finger picking is or if you're a, you know, if you wanted to progress through finger picking, that's a great trick to learn. And you know, the old saying is, it's only hard when you don't know how. Only hard to do when you don't know how to do it. So work at it, practice. You know, go on, fly through YouTube and get 90 million videos on there of finger picking. So what am I doing there? I'm picking string 5, string 4. So we're going to negotiate something quite tricky. Third finger drops on to the G string 6 fret 3. Oh, did you hear that then? That was a terrible chord. Quadrille. Then back to the C. Look at this. Let's speed that up. And that sounds really nice again. I'm going to dedicate this lesson to the word knife. Of course, that's how it sounds. So that's quite complicated thumb work. You know, your thumb, God bless the thumb. Hey, it doesn't do masses when you've got a plectrum because the pick does most of the work. But all of a sudden, when you're finger picking, there does get quite, you know, gets a busy old thing, and your thumb sits there going, God blimey, I was enjoying myself, just having a nice little leisurely life. All of a sudden, I've got loads of jobs to do, and it swaps between all the different strings. Right, okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at some nice finger picking chords. All right, finger picking chords. This is a great idea. I love this style of playing. We're going to use shapes and we're going to work them up the fretboard. When I first started playing, I never thought of doing this. It didn't make any sense to me and I didn't know what I was playing. But then I saw the light. Not that light over there. They've got to switch the light on, light off, light on, light off. I love my light. These are things that you know keep you going when you're old. Yeah, I've got a light. So when I first started playing, I had never thought of doing these chords. We're going to use the chord C, F, and G. Now, if you know these chords, you might think C. You might think F, ooh, bar chord, and G, ooh, bar chord. Or you might think C, F. I don't like that F chord at all. It's really hard to play. And G. Well, think of it in a different way. Let's look at opening up the fretboard. And we are going to move the C shape up and down the fretboard. This is a lovely way of playing C, F, and G. And you can finger pick it. So I'm going to strum it. You can strum it as well. I'm going to strum it first, give you an idea what it sounds like. That's your C. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move that up to fret 6. Now I'm going to move it up, that's an F. It's a weird F. Now I'm going to move it up to fret 8. Down to 6 again. The 8 it was a G. And you get this lovely feeling of some things moving and some things standing still. The thing that's moving, obviously, is these 3 fingers. The thing that's standing still is string 3 and string 1. Oh, string 1, you had to play louder than string 3, didn't you? Honestly, they're always in competition with each other. String 1 always has to be louder than string 3. So they're the things that are standing still. So you get in movement and you get in non-movement. So you get these lovely chords. Now I'm going to finger pick them, and I'm going to pick them in exactly the same pattern as I did on the C chord. Has a massive effect on the sound. Now I'm going to slide that up to fret 6. Now back to C. Now I'm going to go up to fret 8. Down to fret 6. And back down. So C, F and G looked at in a completely different way. Would you have ever thought of playing a C shape at fret 6? I mean, yes. There you go. To G. No, it's just heavenly. It sounds lovely. So if you've got a chord now, I'll start again, hang on, rewind, rewind it. If you've got a song with those 3 chords in C, F and G, and you're thinking, I just need some inspiration, I just feel a little lost, then use those 3 chords instead. Use C and then move it up to fret 6, and then move to fret 8, and you'll have C, F and G, and they're really strong. I'm not going to bother going through what their actual chord, you know, it will be a F with an added this, that, and the other, and a G with a plus add this and the other. Just think of them as C, F, and G. And in the key of C, starting on C, they'll always work. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. I'm going to move a D shape on the fretboard. Okay, so we'll go back to our picking pattern of D. And by the way, just remember, you can, like I say, you can still strum them. So you can still strum these as well. So D. Now I'm going to move this up to fret 7. Okay, so here we go. But this time the bass notes are staying the same. It's called a drone string. Drone string, that's a G. Would you ever thought of playing G there? D shape at fret 7, it's a G. Now I'm going to make an A. We're going to go up to fret 8. So that's me being silly. Fret 9. Do you hear my finger? I just caught my bass note then. Whole bottom end fell out of it. And then back to D. Would you have ever thought of playing G at fret 7 as a D shape? Or fret 9 for an A as a D shape? Sounds great, strong. Don't have to finger pick it. Let's chuck the last chord in. I'm going to put an F in. Yeah? Fret 5. Bass note stays the same. Now the G. Back to D. So once you've got that picking pattern nailed, when I say nailed, don't say to your grown up, or if you are a grown up, don't sort of say, right, I need a hammer and some nails. What do I want those for? When I say, when you got it nailed, when you got it sorted, it really is, the fretboard just opens up for you again. It's great, So there you go. I am now going to put my guitar down. Sit there, guitar, see in about 2 minutes. Finger picking. Keep practicing it. Don't think that because you're not succeeding as quickly as you would like, that it's going to just fall apart. It's not. You're just one step closer to getting it right. All right. Yeah, fair hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I'll see you again on Monday. You take care now. It's a grand day. See ya. See ya. See ya. See ya. I've not pressed it yet. Hang on. See ya. See you again in a bit. Hang on. See ya.